Welcome, everybody, to our Kingdom Organizer Magnification Call for October 25th. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Our presenter tonight will be Mr. Richard Paul Evans. Take it away, Rick.
Thank you, Michael. Okay, there's a Chinese curse. May you live in interesting times. Does that sum up right now? We are living in fascinating times. That's a horrible thing. I would kind of like some boredom would be nicer about now. And so what I want to talk to you about right now, which is really important, is I want to talk to you about the next 2 weeks. I have seen some real ups and downs in my life, and some points of real despair. And we've all been through a lot, but on top of this, I just went through my daughter and her divorce, and walked the whole way, with her through that. And it didn't surprise me that everything hit at once. And at the end, it's like I felt so down and discouraged. And I have seen amazing miracles. And really right now, nice hat, Robbie. Right now is a time of remarkable opportunity. Okay, and I have seen it's amazing. I have seen doors open up that I just didn't even think were possible. I've seen things happen in the last little while, and even I have a book that comes out on Tuesday, right? The Noel letters. I'm really excited about the message. I didn't think I was gonna be able to write that book, and then I didn't know if it was any good. And the response on it has been just phenomenal. But all of a sudden, all these really powerful things are coming to me. And so when we find ourselves in really difficult experiences, and it seems like every time something big is going to happen, something really bad happens first, as if to shake us. Has anyone else had that experience before? Have you noticed that? I'm looking at you, Joseph. Have you noticed before something big is about to happen in your life, something bad happens? Robbie, you say yeah? Yeah. That's interesting, Joseph. That's interesting that you're pausing on that, because I've noticed it so strong. I would actually get ready for it. Just before the Christmas box, before all that, I was completely humbled. I was completely broken down. And I remember on my knees telling God, it's like, okay, I thought you had great plans for me. I'm sorry for that. You don't. I'm sorry that I was that arrogant. It's like, if you could just let me be a good father and provide for my family, humbly, I'll be good. And at that point, I meant it. I wasn't saying, I meant it. And at that point, then all of a sudden God said, "You're ready." And all of a sudden my world exploded. It just exploded. And all of a sudden it's like I became Richard Paul Evans, and from coast to coast. I feel like I'm going to another renaissance right now, and I'm not surprised that I had that. Really, some of you were part of that. Michael said the most lovely things to me, but I talked about, am I even relevant anymore? And wow, did God answer that question? I've had more celebrities call me in the last week than I have in years. It's just weird. People reaching out. Ted Nugent's wife called me the other day and asked me if I would help her with something. It's just like, really? He goes, "Yeah, I can come here. It's Ted's birthday, but I can come the day after." It's like, this is just so weird, all these things that are coming to me right now. And it's really exciting. And I can see, I can see that big things are coming. And so because of that, it's like, okay, the world's not over. We have things to do. But this is what I wanted to share today along that line. What happens in the next 3 weeks? I made a mistake and watched something my former business partner, well, I guess he's still my business partner, Glenn Beck, posted. And it was about, there's this thing that came out that's saying, hey, get ready after the election. There may be a coup, and like we're all going to take to the streets and do whatever we need to do, including whatever violence is necessary. And there are more than 50 major organizations like Black Lives Matter, Planned Parenthood, these people that were signed up on. It's like, oh my gosh, it's like, this is like terrifying. What's going to happen? I don't know. But the world has always been not a very safe place. And so I've taken inspiration from looking at a few people's lives who set the perfect example. Did anyone ever see the movie called Chariots of Fire? Did you see that? Joseph, you're too young. I'm sorry. You need to go see that. Karen, who wants to tell me what it's about? Anyone? Raise your hand if you want to tell me what it's about. Karen Devenberger, you want to tell us? Okay, let's unmute you. Unmute yourself, Karen.
It was about, let's see, Eric Little was in it, and he was a Christian.
Mhm.
Is that the one?
Yep, that's the
He
one.
was a Christian, and he was a runner that joined the Olympic team for the country of Britain. And so it showed a lot about their training. The movie was a lot about the training that they did. And then they went to the Olympics, and Eric Little refused to run on Sunday, and his race was slotted to run on Sunday. So he was able to trade with another runner for a different race, and it all worked out. So it was a really fun movie. I enjoyed that a lot.
It was a really inspirational movie. I remember the time I was on a Mormon mission. It was the only movie we were allowed to watch over those 2 years. What's fascinating about it is that he wouldn't run because it fell on a Sunday. The Queen went to him and said, "You have an obligation to represent your country and to run." He said, "No." It's like, "You're turning down the Queen." And he said, "I have a higher authority." The power that he had there, I looked at it, it's like, I couldn't do that. I watched it, it's like, oh my goodness. Well, I just learned in a sermon the rest of his story. Do you realize he ended up in a concentration camp? Did you know that about that? I had no idea. And what happened, it was written by this man who became a really powerful religious writer, but he was an atheist. And he's in this camp and he goes, "There's no difference between those who believe and those who don't." He said, "They're just as selfish. He goes, the only different were the religious people were able to make up excuses for their selfishness. They're better at it." And he said, there was one exception, Eric Little. And he said, this man in the middle of this concentration camp, he was setting up chess tournaments for the teenagers so they wouldn't be stressed. He set up ballroom dancing for the teenagers. He spent his time giving, about finding ways, breaking the system, saying, "No, I am going to be this conduit and I am going to flow in this worst possible situation." That just gives me chills. That's just powerful. Okay, I found myself almost in a fight with one of my best friends, a friend that I love dearly as family, about politics. She is hyper liberal and I'm conservative, as you've noticed. And it's like, and she was saying things that were just like so offensive. And through this all, I realized something, that I'm not conservative, I'm not liberal, I am God's son. And to step back and say, the only one, remember the saying, my dad used to love this, a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. Have you heard that? A man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. It's like, it doesn't matter. And what I did is, in this relationship, I had to step back, and that was during that dark time. It's like, I am what's wrong with the world. It's me. And that the only proper way to handle the world is with love. And I reached out with pure love, with absolute love. And what a change it made in that relationship, and what doors it opened. What a powerful, powerful way to live. And it's like, I don't want to be used. And then I saw that movie I told you about, Your Mind Hacked, Hacking the Mind, and talking about how actually algorithms are being used to do tremendous damage to our culture, our society. We need to step out of the manipulation as a kingdom organizer community. Okay, we need to step out of that. I'm not saying we don't have political opinions. I don't say we don't fight for freedom or do what's right, but we need to step out of the manipulation. When you sit down and talk with someone, if they're willing to talk, if they're, you will discover is that we're not far off. I remember having a very heated discussion about feminism with my agent. And finally said, okay, listen to me. I have 4 daughters and a wife. Have they been in any way limited by me? She goes, no. I said, in fact, have I done the opposite? Have I lifted them as high as they can go? And it's like, well, Jenna's a New York Times bestselling author. Allison's getting her doctorate. It's like, yeah, you're actually completely supportive. I go, so let's start from the idea that we are in complete agreement over empowering women to be everything they can be, not because they're women, but because they are humans. They're children of God. It's like, that's not even a question. I go, and then I said, what you're describing, you're raising a son. Is that the world you want him to live in? And she was quiet for a moment. And she said, no, I don't want him to live in that world. It's like, okay, we can talk rationally. We both want good. And sometimes it's just the approach, and sometimes it's bad teaching. And the one time I see when I just shut down people and don't talk is when they're mocking. Because to me, mocking is about the most satanic, demonic form of communication, because at that point, it's not real. When people mock, they have no desire of the truth. When they're sarcastic, they have no desire for truth. Okay, at that point, you're just wasting your time. So, okay, who else has shown a great example? Well, I love this. I'm gonna post this in our. Let's see, can I share the screen? I think I can. Michael, yeah, I should be able to share a screen.
Yeah, you should be able, you're a co-host.
Oh, I'm getting the spinning beach ball of death.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Okay, I'm gonna do this. We're going those. Oh no, there it is. Okay, here we go. And I'll hold it up as well if you're not. It says it's going to show. Is it showing it now?
Not just yet.
I'm sorry, my computer's doing something weird. I'm going to show this to you. This is oh, totally freezing up. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry. This has never happened before.
I'm gonna stop the share and see if.
Okay, it's up now, right? I think that's good. I think it was a matter of trying to download 8,000 photographs from my phone. I think that's the problem. Okay, but this is it. This is a quote from Viktor E. Frankl. Do you know who Viktor Frankl is? He wrote one of the most profound books ever written, and I hope you read it. It's called Man's Search for Meaning. He said, everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. Okay, this is us. Over the next 2 weeks, we have a rare opportunity. We're going to see a lot of hate. We're going to see a lot of indecision. We're going to see a lot of anger. We're going to see frustration. What I want us to do is to be ahead of that. That we're going to be examples of light in an darkened world. That we're going to be kind. That we're not going to fight. There's no point to it. What we're going to be is we're going to be beacons of light and love. And what will happen is we will draw people to what's right instead of trying to push them to what's right, which never works. Okay. They can question your motives, they can question your politics, but if they can't question your heart, you will win. And that's like Og Mandino, right? They may not believe everything, but they will sense your love coming to them and they will follow you. This is exactly what we need to be prepared for. And we don't know what's going to happen. But we'll be prepared. And that doesn't mean that we're not going to support and protect our loved ones. And it's going to be it's just going to be interesting, but it doesn't change our responsibility of what we're going to be. And nor does it change the idea that our kingdom one is still controlled by divinity and that we are connected to divinity, which is far greater than anything else. So this is the opportunity that we have. So there's a couple different mindsets we can go into this. And I've been going through something really interesting right now, as Diane can attest. One of the most exciting things in my life right now is the Christmas Box House. We are having such a good time rebuilding the Christmas Box House. And I can't believe the things that are coming to us. And what happened, what launched it, is you've seen next to Kingdom Hall, for those who are in Salt Lake City, you have seen the billboard. That's what launched this big battle. Christmas Box House used to be the most famous charity in Utah. Everyone knew about it. We had people, I mean, we had hundreds and hundreds of Eagle Scouts trying to get their projects working with us. It was just, it was, we actually had someone who did nothing but work with Eagle Scouts. It was a big charity. And that didn't just happen. It took 4 years of incredibly hard work and millions of dollars to get it to that point. I mean, Carrie and I sacrificed everything, and I'm not exaggerating. We were almost bankrupt to get that off the ground. Well, it's happened. We had all this momentum, the ship's going, and I was completely burned out. I had nothing else to give after 4 years, and we turned it over to people who were competent, and it went through a few changes. Well, the people who came in, and our director, she had never been through it. She wasn't there for the founding. And so she basically decided that it just ran itself. And we've watched it fall and fall and fall over the last 15 years. But we didn't realize how bad it had fallen. And so I told her, I said, you know what? People don't know who we are anymore. We need to do a billboard. And she just flat out said no. And she fought me on it. It's like, why are you fighting the chairman of the board? But that's the third thing she was fighting me on. And all of a sudden, that's what it took. My style of leadership is I don't tell people how to do their job unless I want to do their job for them. I've learned that after having hundreds of employees. It's like, if I'm ready to fire them, then I'll step in. Well, I realized that she was fighting. And so we had this conversation, and what she said is she had gone into her apartment at COVID and she had lied to me. Like she said, the county said they're not allowed in the Christmas Box House, had never been said. So no one had gone into the facility for months. And before that, she was working 1 day a week for $80,000 a year. And what she said is, it's COVID, we need to hide. She hadn't left her apartment in 2.5 months. She hadn't left it. She had sat in there. Nothing got done. And I realized she has a bunker scarcity mentality. We have to hide. We need to save every dollar. What's interesting is that they wouldn't spend anything, but there were 30 quart bottles of hand sanitizer for 4 people. I mean, or 3 people. It's like, okay, this is the mindset. So what happened, I went in and we changed the board out. We said, if you're not willing to give, and we told them they have to raise so much money and they have to be at every meeting. They weren't even attending the meetings. We couldn't even get a quorum to vote because they weren't there. So once I told them they have to raise $10,000 and be at every meeting, the people who weren't interested quit. And then I let go the executive director after 14 years. And all of a sudden things exploded. In the last 4 weeks, we've had more than 160 new donors. One woman we called, we started getting the emails that were coming in. She goes, she's like, would you please respond to my email? This is to our former director. So the new director's in there and she responds, I'm sorry, what do you need? She goes, I've never heard from you. They had given us $250,000 and no one had ever talked to them. They had never been personally thanked. We took care of that right away. They had 4 contacts from us, including one of our members, Doug Short, who actually drove out to her house and delivered some of my upcoming books to her and said, we are so sorry. Thank you so much for your support. More than 160 new donors in the last 4 weeks. We're getting major companies. And in fact, even CJ and Janelle reached out and said that Janelle's son wanted to talk, and I'm excited about talking to them, to Jeremy, about choosing Christmas Box House. We have so many cool things that are coming in now and happening. And one of the gals who's on the board, who had just been quiet for years, she said it's about time. She had been volunteering for 15 years and had raised more than $1 million for us. And I knew she was powerful, but she'd been really quiet. And she said the board was not doing anything. I was just silenced. So now she's very active, and her goal is to raise $10 million that would create us a legacy that we would last forever and be able to help kids. We've helped more than 125,000 abused children. We've helped tens of thousands of trafficked children. But the mindset, we need to hide and do nothing, was where they're at. Instead, we've gone in full, and like I was telling Diane earlier, it's like we've had 3 new donors just today. Not doing a thing, just money just came in just today. Because once you get the momentum going, we're building. Now we're doing a telethon. We're getting celebrities come to us. We're having really cool things. That's how the connection with Ted Nugent came. All of a sudden, it's growing. Okay? God never wanted us to live small. He never wanted us to hide under a rock. You know, I'm intrigued right now. I have so many people coming to me and wanting to build my ranch to a compound. I had someone offer me 400 guns. I'm not kidding. Yeah. He goes, I've got body armor for you. I've got everything. It's like, you want to create a compound. And it's like, we're not here to kill people or do like last man standing. That's not how it works. We are going to engage in the middle of this, and we are going to bless every life we can. And we're going to put our faith in our kingdom one. God is not silent. And these are just chances for opportunities for us to be who we're going to be. And there's no, the reason we don't live with the lives of opportunities is too often we're living the lives of fear. So I have a really cool idea, and I want to offer this to you. I'm excited. My book comes out next Tuesday. Some of you have joined my Noels, they call themselves. That's Noel with VES. I just reached out and said, do you want to help me launch my book? And all these people, more than 150 have already come and said, yeah, we want to do this. All these amazing things have just come. And so I'm really excited. We're going to have this amazing book launch. And then this magic happens. Amazon, 3 hours ago, Amazon discounted my book 39%. That makes a big deal. That's a big deal in sales. It's like, I don't know why they did that. It's like another blessing. The blessings just keep coming. So I think it's because we are at a time that we're supposed to make a difference. This isn't a time of silence. Okay, this is a time for us to not to have a bunker mentality, not to hide, but for us to be lights to the world. And so I had this cool idea, and I want to see what you think. You've seen our Tribe of Kings coins. Have you seen these before? They're silver 1 ounce rounds. You ever seen these? We actually minted these. They're very cool looking, actually. Try to get so you don't get the glare. Isn't that beautiful? It's our logo. I had this idea. I was lucky enough 2 days ago to actually get the domain Defend Children. Defendchildren.com. Is that cool? That's pretty hard to get a domain like that. Well, we have it. Christmas Box House now owns it. We're building this coalition, and I thought, what if we create Defend Children coins? Right now is a great time, and as we look at Kingdom Organizer our full life, I'll just tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy as much silver as I can right now. I've been following silver for more than 40 years. And something very interesting is happening with it. I've been watching. For those who bought silver, what I told you before, you've made a bunch of money. So I thought, what a cool way that people could actually invest in it. So we're going to make Defend Children coins. Is that something that would sound interesting to you? That you could actually make an investment and actually at the same time help, because all the profits, every bit of profit would go to Christmas Box House, every bit. And we're working with teams now that are doing extractions, that are protecting children, actually going in and armed and going in and taking kids out of dangerous places. We have so many new connections. We have 5 new partners who have come in. This isn't a time to quit. This is a time for us to grow. Things will be okay. You know, we're going to see challenges like we probably have never before. You'll be okay. And at the end of the life day, we all die anyway. You know, we're going to die, which is just a transition into the next world, into the next opportunity. So let's live great. You know, this is a chance to look at it and say, let's live great. And so, and the fact that I'm having so many things come to me lets me know very clearly that this isn't the time to be over. The inspiration of the people wouldn't be coming to me right now if there weren't big things to come, if there wasn't a great work to do. So this is what I challenge you to do this week is, first of all, I want you to check your attitude. I want you to put on your weekly planner. Okay. And I was just getting my mind is so full. This page won't be enough. I want you to write down, like every day, you're going to check your attitude. Am I just riding the waves, or am I standing like a rock? Am I standing like a rock in the ocean and saying, no, I'm immovable. I'm deciding how I will respond. If Viktor Frankl, not knowing if he would be alive the next day, having no control of his life in a concentration camp, still said, we can decide. We can do it too. Okay, we have the system. I'm not talking about the planner. I'm talking about the 5 kingdoms. Okay, we know what we want to be. We know where our power comes from the first kingdom. And we know that we reach out and we protect those on our second and third, that we impact the fourth, and that we shine to the 5th. That's who we need to be. So the first thing is to check your attitude, say, this is who I'm going to be. The second thing we're going to do is I want you to ask your divine source and say, what big thing do you want me to do in my life right now? What impact can I have in this world for you? Not for my benefit. And by the way, that is exactly how you get a benefit. The only thing we keep in this life is what we give away. That's what my life has taught me. What you give away is what you get to keep. What you keep, you'll lose someday. And so you reach out and give. It's like you will find joy and happiness. There's so much excitement in my life right now. And it's a matter of everything. And I just step back. It's like, are you asking the right questions? How am I serving my source? How am I representing my source and going out as this light? Because you are on the stage. You are right there in Kingdom 1. That is you. You are this focal point radiating out. It's your show. You're the director. You're the star. So coming from who you are and where you are, and then radiating out. So you're going to control you're going to decide. I'm not going to say control, because that's a tough word. You're going to decide. You're going to make the decision what your attitude is going to be in the course of this. You decide. I want to be a source of love. I want to be a source that anyone on any side can come to and look to. And then what great thing are you going to do to impact the world for the rest of this year? And maybe the rest of your life. You're going to have opportunities that you wouldn't have had before. It is in the darkest skies that stars are best seen. Remember that. It is in the darkest skies that stars are best seen. You're going to have the opportunity to reach out and lift others. And as soon as you say that prayer, and let me reach out and be that tool, you're going to see people and opportunities come to you that would not have come to you before. And this will be your opportunity to truly be great. So as far as the Kingdom Organizer business, where we are right now, I've had great talks with CJ and Janelle and Janica, and what's happening right now is we're settling in just a little bit. And the biggest part is because my biggest influence comes from my novels, and I'm releasing a novel. Things are looking, sales, let me just tell you, book sales are up substantially in the midst of this pandemic. We don't know what to expect. Opportunities are coming bigger than ever. The more influence I have, the better I'm able to reach out. Facebook corporate just invited me to, they're putting me on their page for books that goes out to almost 1 million people. And just for fun said, by the way, we're giving you $5,000 just to spend, just for fun. Okay, big things are happening, but this is going to give us impact. I've been talking to Dr. Benjamin Hardy. He just released a new book, and he just contacted me and said, I'm ready to write the 5 Kingdoms. When are we going to roll? So we're gonna move ahead. So as soon as we come out of this, then we're gonna start December, end of November and December, a great time for people to restructure their life. And we have exactly what they need to find peace and to put their lives in order. So that's where we're going to be. That's where we're going to go. We're doing some tests now. I know Janica's doing some tests and trying some things. And so some great things are going to happen. But in the meantime, we need to hold together and keep our community strong, and it continues to be strong. Look at all you here tonight. And then we'll move forward in blessing the world, and we'll be in a strong place to do so. Do you have any questions? Or I like that, CJ. Any comments? Any comments about what you want to do? Your plans for the next few months? Just raise your hand if you have something. Yes, CJ, go ahead and unmute yourself.
All right, I am just going to get back now that this pandemic is going to be over on the 4th of November. I want to start getting back out there and talking with people. I need to reach back out. I'm going to reach out to, I don't know if everybody knows who Mike Lindell is. Anybody know who Mike Lindell is?
Remember you talking about it, remind us.
The My Pillow guy.
My pillow, yay.
Yeah, I'm going to see if, I think he wants to get, he'll probably want to get Kingdom Organizers for his entire company, which would be awesome. So we're going to reach out to him and see what we can do there. That'll be a really good one.
And I think helping the children, what a better time of year.
Perfect time.
To take the focus off of us and really put it out there of what we can do to help these children. So I'm excited to hear what you've got planned, Richard. This is going to be an exciting time for all of us.
I really think so. This is serious stuff. I have 3 really big celebrities who have asked me to help them with books. And I said, I'll help you with your book if you help me help my children. I said, I don't want it. I'm not taking any money from it, but if you want me, you're going to have to help us do this. And all of them have been, you bet. So I think we're going to see some really big things. We're doing a telethon. What did you guys think of? The idea of the coins? Raise your hand if you think that sounds cool. Okay, because in the times of uncertainty, people turn to precious metals, and it's never let me down. It's always been really strong. But to do that and then say, by the way, it's a donation. You're helping kids, and you may end up being blessed way over back. You may end up getting so much back. Jessica, you want to be involved with Christmas Box? I have not received your emails. Are you sending them to author at Richard Paul Evans? Send to author@richardpaulevans.com or reach out to Diane. One other thing, I think I might have said this, but I actually am doing the drive-by signing this Friday at King's Hall. If anyone would like to volunteer, just email me. This is the one we did for the Tribe of Kings. What we're doing is the front will be the Christmas Box House logo, the seal, which is really cool. And then the back, it will say defendchildren.com. It'll say Defend Children coin. So it's a thing, it's a coin. That ideally we have 1 million people carrying this coin in their pocket. There's something about carrying a silver coin around. I've done it for years. it's, I mean, my goal right now is, besides reaching out as much as we can, but it's the same thing that we do here, is to help these people magnify their lives. One of the guys, I'll have him on a call before too long. His name is Eros. I was on a call with him, and this is real stuff, guys. He goes, I'm listening to him talking to the other operatives, and all of a sudden it's like, there she is. She's packing. She's packing. Back off. She's high situational awareness. These guys are talking back and forth. They're like apprehending fugitives and traffickers. And he's talking to me. I go, maybe now is not the best time for us to be just chatting. He goes, no, we're good. We're good. And it's like, the truck's moving, back up. There's all those shouting orders. Like, there's like military guys like, oh my gosh, I'm in the middle of this operation. It's like, this stuff is real. And they're walking out with children. Okay. As we focus on connecting with our source and then spreading out, we are going to see a magnification, I think, like you've never seen. This is not a time for bunker mentality. This is the opposite. And the thing is, most people will be bunker mentality. Most people will hide, which will give you even more opportunity to shine, more opportunity to influence others. So we'll let you know about all this. It takes about, I'm actually probably going to put these up this week, and I'll post some things if you're interested. We did it with our Tribe of Kings, and most of those guys, honestly, were broke, right? We did a Tribe of Kings, and they would do, our first night we did, what was it, Diane, like $14,000 our first night? It's just like, and they're broke. It's just like, hey, you don't lose when you're working with precious metals, because especially in hard times. But go ahead, Gina.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I know, we've got 19 grandchildren, and our gift giving for Christmas coming up and things like that. What a perfect gift to give.
Oh, nice, yes.
I think this is definitely, I'm always racking my brain what theme to do or what we can do. We have so many on our list each year, and it keeps growing. But I just think, what a perfect gift to give to everyone that we know and love and care, and spread the message of what they can do too to help.
Really cool. That's a great idea. Well, I really believe that's a kind of thing that we could get 1 million people interested in it, which means that we could put that money in our endowment and build. But we're just, so you know what the plan is. And my plan is to bring it all together, that our community here, that you all get to be involved, that we are all magnifying ourselves. But part of that magnification is to reach past ourselves, and children, if they don't have us to defend them, who do they have? And Shauna, you said one of the coins, it will take, right now, the mints are way behind. I'm looking at another mint tomorrow. They're about 6 weeks behind, but what we have to do is lock in the silver, and I will have to take possession of silver. And by the way, there had been someone we worked with who actually did a scam. I only work with precious metals if I can take possession of it. Okay, I never buy it on paper. I take possession of the metal. There was a huge scam in Utah, and they stole more than $100 million. So anyway, I never opened myself up to that, because that's not how we work. So we did it with the Kings twice, and we took big bars of silver. We actually took like bullion. One was 1,000 ounces, if you can imagine. It's $25,000 for that bar, and it weighs 62 pounds. We're going to be getting a bunch of that, because I would like to do more than $1 million worth in the next month. Think big. Magnification. I think we can do it. But I think everyone who goes into it, I think silver is so underpriced. My personal feeling is that we're going to see $100 silver. And silver is what, when I was broke and poor and young, that's how I paid for my mission, was actually with a box of silver. My parents had no money. I had more money than they did. And I did it through metal. So this is something I've done since I was little. But when you get that little coin, Janelle, you give it to a kid, it just, you feel rich. Okay. Oh, look, nice, Dan. Dan has his coin. They're gorgeous. So anyway, so that's what we're looking for. I'm looking for big things for this rest of this year. And so anyway, thank you so much. I've missed you. It's so good to be with you. I do hope you all go out and buy my book, because I want to hit really high on the bestseller list. The tough thing, my book was supposed to come out on election day. Bad idea. They agreed. And they moved it to the week before. The problem is I actually have a bunch of other major authors coming out the same day, but I always compete with the major authors, so it's nothing new. I've always got my Stephen Kings and John Grisham and Nicholas Sparks out. So, but I always run scared, even though I'm very optimistic because it's a pandemic. We don't know what's going to happen. I know that book sales are up about 20% right now for me, and in the pre-orders, and we hope we have a good week. So anyway. Thanks so much. We'll be in touch. I'll see you next Sunday, and let's talk.
Hey, Richard.
Yeah.
I led last week while in your absence, and I shared a little bit about my son. I've got an update for you guys that'll blow your mind. Can I share?
Yes, please. Yes.
So we've been working on moving Ryan in. That's why I've got new background. I moved my office out. He's using that bedroom now. Just been amazing. We've got big plans. We're not ready to share them just yet, but we're planning some big things. But today, my sister, who has not talked to me for 12 years, called, and she said, I've been hearing about what you're doing with Ryan, and I think that's amazing, and I want to just thank you for being the father that I always knew you could be. So she lives out in Pennsylvania, and we've got commitment to reestablish that relationship that it's been dormant for 12 years. So big things happening.
That is huge. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Michael. And thank you for being that, man. Thank you for making that effort. It wasn't an accident. You saw it and you ran for it. Proud of you. Cool.
Yep. Okay.
All right. It's your family. All right. Love you all. Have a great week. And maybe I'll see some of you at the drive-by book signing. And if anyone wants to help, just email me if you'd like to volunteer. Okay. Someone emailed me and said, for my mental health, please let me help. So we just need a few volunteers down there, probably about 10. That's it. So anyway, take care all.
Richard.
Thank you.
Have a great week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.